Kevin.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that introduction. And my name's Kevin Moore. I'm a Gold International Diamond with For Life. I've been with the company since 1999. I'm going to give you just a little brief background. And some of you know my background, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it tonight, especially given the topic. Because the topic tonight is the Life Rewards Compensation Plan that For Life has. And there's distributors that have been with this company a little bit longer than I have been, even though I've been with them now for 21 plus years. There's distributors who are more successful than I am. There's distributors that are far more talented than I am. But I probably have one of the few claim to fames in this. I saw this compensation plan from the other side to the point where I became a major convert to what this side has to offer. And let me just give you a little bit of background on that. When I first started with For Life, worked my way up after about 6 years. And after 6 years, I was what they called a premier sales manager. And as a premier sales manager, what I did was I oversaw the department that took care of the top leaders in For Life. So most of them are Platinum International Diamonds now. Dave Daughtry, Jeff Gilbers, Ray Muir, Bonnie Taylor. And that got me to where I was very converted to the business model. But I still wasn't sure it was for me, because I saw that, you know, sometimes we have to be able to put ourselves in a situation where we can envision us being as successful as our mentors, right? You know, I've heard an expression one time that somebody says, you have to work so hard that your heroes become your rivals, right? But when I was there working as a premier sales manager, I couldn't really envision myself making the kind of money, building the kind of business, having the kind of lifestyle that I saw so many of these top distributors achieving. Then something kind of crazy happened. Most of the time, we kind of get pushed, right? And Dave Daughtry talks about getting pushed into the pool, right? Well, what pushed me into the pool was the fact that we had a kindergartner. He was 5 years old, my oldest son, and I was kind of in a bad place, just emotionally, because I grew up without a father. My father passed away when I was 5 years old. And so I said, you know, you can't go back. You can't, you know, change the past. But what I wanted to do was focus on what I could control. And what I felt like I could do was be the best father I could possibly be. And so I wanted to have a lot of kids. I wanted to be there for them. I wanted to be coach. And I wanted to be on the front row for dance recitals and just be a supportive dad that was always present. Well, that was all fine and good, but I was finding out very quickly with my oldest son that I was tied to my job. And I was missing a lot of things because the job required it. And because I was having to trade my time for money. And if I didn't trade my time for money, there was way too much month when the money ran out. And so I wasn't able to pay my bills. And so I was kind of in a situation where I was a little bit depressed because I missed a really big moment for my son. It was called Daddy Donut Day. And he asked me, he's like, I'm so excited, Dad. We're going to have donuts. We're going to read stories together. And he was just excited. And I told him I couldn't go because I had a work conflict and because I needed the hours. So my mother-in-law went in my place. And all the stereotypes about mother-in-laws, well, she never let me hear the end of it. She was like, oh, it was so fun. We ate donuts together. We read stories together. And so I felt like I was missing out on memories and moments. And they were the moments and memories I felt like my dad was not able to be there for me because he passed from this life so early. So I especially wanted to be there for my son. Well, what happened is my wife came and told me the big news. She was really excited. She said, come home for lunch. She goes, I'm going to make you a nice lunch. I drove home for lunch. I was still kind of, hanging my head because I was missing my oldest son's, these big events in his life. And I felt like I was in a great company, but kind of a dead end job. Does it make sense? I loved For Life, but I just felt like I wasn't going to advance much further. Or if I did see some progress on the corporate side, I knew it was going to take many, many, many years. Well, my wife invites me home for lunch because that's a good way to cheer me up is food. So she's got my favorite meal sitting there. And I look over to the left of the meal and there's just this little box. It's not a very big box and it's got a red bow on it. And I thought, well, what could this be? And the first thing that came to my mind is that I thought that maybe I'd forgotten our anniversary or like a special occasion. So I started to do a quick run through my mind like, oh my goodness, I've messed up. There's something I'm forgetting here. And I'm like, no, nothing that I can, recall. And then the second thought in my mind was whatever it is, because every once in a while she was notorious for getting what she called I love you gifts. And I thought, well, we can't afford I love you gifts. So whatever she got, hopefully she kept a receipt because it's going back. So I opened it up, reached into the box, and I pulled out a positive pregnancy test. She was excited. It doesn't come with a very good return policy, right? So she was excited that we were having our second child because we had talked about that. We wanted to have a big family. And I did my best. It was Oscar-worthy performance. I smiled. I gave her a hug. I'm so happy. I love you. And then she said, go wash up for lunch. And I walked to the bathroom to wash my hands. And I'm a big guy and my knees buckled. They buckled because I was like, what are we doing? I can't afford our first child. I don't have time, freedom to be there for my first son. And now we're having a second child. So about 2 weeks later, I went in for my 6-year annual review with For Life. And what they did is every year you did an annual review, they would bring you in and they would give you a performance for your previous year. And I went in and I remember my boss was sitting there and he said, well, he goes, I've got good news, Kevin. Out of all of mid-management, you've got one of the highest performances for the previous year. We're really happy with the job you're doing. You're committed. You're really, doing a great job with the top distributors in For Life. We're very happy with your performance. And I was like, I got him, right? Because I said, well, that makes me really happy to hear. I need a raise and I need a significant raise because my wife just told me we're expecting child number 2. Well, child number 1's expensive, but we're going to have more diapers and formula and doctor visits and all of these things that go. So you probably shouldn't have started off by telling me I'm doing a fantastic job because I hope that translates to a fantastic raise. And he said something, and I don't think he realizes the impact he was having on me. But he said, Kevin, what's one of the main things that you do? And I go, well, support the top distributors. No, he goes, training wise. I go, well, I train on the compensation plan. And he sat back in his chair and he said, and what's the first thing you say? And I say, well, that we have the most dynamic maximum payout I've ever seen in this industry. 64% maximum payout. He goes, you're on the 36% side. That's exactly what he said. And I was like, whoa. It just was like this light bulb of the explosion in my head. I'm like, he's right. Like I'm over here preaching 64% and it didn't really dawn on me that the 36% side was the home office, the corporate office that I was working for. And so he said, here's the deal. He goes, we have a policy, as you're well aware of, 2% for cost of living and up to 2% based on performance and evaluation. Well, come on, guys. I was born at night, but not last night, right? So I'm like 2% cost of living. Inflation is closer to 3.5%, 4%. So I was like, basically there was this, it dawned on me, like I'm barely going to keep up with inflation if I stay in this job responsibility. better get pretty used to the lifestyle I have right now, because it's not going to change much. I'm just going to keep at the pace of cost of living. And then it really became sobering, because I was like, responsibility is increasing by a lot more than 4%, right? And so that night I went home, I tossed and turned, and the next morning I picked up the phone and I called up Dave Daughtry. I said, I'm on the wrong side of the right industry. I better get to that 64% side. And so I called up Dave and I said, hey, Dave, I love this product. I believe in science, success, and service. I believe in transfer factor. What if I told you I want to become a distributor? And Dave just said, love it, Kevin, let's do it. That's exactly what he said. I went in, I talked with David Lisenby. I got his blessing. The most difficult conversation of all is I talked to my wife. I did a quick evaluation with her. I said, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm actually feeling pretty good. You know how I get with pregnancy. She's like, I've had morning sickness. My ankles are already swelling up. And I go, well, how are you feeling today? She goes, I'm feeling pretty good today. I go, well, no time like the present, right? I go, sweetie, I'm going to quit my job. I said, I found a way for our future to get better than it is today, and for us to be able to support our growing family. I said, I'm going to quit my job. She didn't even let me go on to what the next thing was. She's like, what? Are you crazy? She's like, we're adding to our family. And I told her, why don't I become a distributor? She was my first dream stealer, because she said to get your head out of the clouds. That's for someone else. That's not for you. You're not going to be able to go out and build a business, Kevin. And I'm like, whoa, thanks for the vote of confidence, right? Sometimes it's the people that we're closest to. You know, it's our mom, our brother, our wife, our significant other. Those are the people that she knew me for all the things, and she loved me for all the things. But she was like, are you sure? So that night we have a promise that we don't, go to bed angry with one another. That night I was mad, and I was sleeping on the couch, and we were in our little 1-bedroom apartment. And I was sitting there counting the holes in that old beat up ceiling of that apartment, as I was just thinking about the fact that, I don't know what to do. My wife doesn't believe in me. Thankfully, the next morning I woke up and she was like a ninja sitting right there at the edge of the bed. I don't know how long she was there. And she just said, hey, you know what? I'm sorry about last night. If you believe in this, I'm just going to have to start by believing in you. And she's like, I'll believe in you, and then you can believe in that. And eventually, hopefully, I can be converted to believing in that. She goes, I know it's a great company. I know it's a great product. Maybe I can, through my belief in you, be converted to believe in what you can do as a distributor. And you know what? A year later, I was a Gold International Diamond. No, I wasn't. A year later, I was falling flat on my face. A year later, I was questioning every day, did I make the right decision? Because it's a struggle. Right? This is not an easy business. It is a simple one. And if you keep on keeping on and you do your consistent day-to-day income producing activities, you can do fantastic things. And so, yes, a year later, I wasn't sure I made the right decision. 18 months later, I started to feel like, hey, this might have been a good decision. You know what? 5 years later, I was like, wow. I shivered to think what could have been if I would have never had that belief to make the move. 10 years later, I was making more money in a month than I made in a year when I left the company. So it changed my life. And I'm forever grateful for this company and this compensation plan that we're going to go over tonight, okay? This compensation plan is the best I've ever seen in the industry. And you know what? Money doesn't solve all problems, but money is a pretty great thing to cross off your list of problems. You know what? It might not solve all the problems, but if you can cross that one off the list, it's pretty great. And when you can get to the point where money no longer dictates your decisions, it feels fantastic. I have 6 kids now. right? You're like, whoa, what a nut. This guy's crazy, right? I always wanted to have a big family. I can support the family. The first child was the realization, the wake up child. The second one was the nervous breakdown child, right? And I've had 4 afterwards for 4 Life. And every single one that I've had after that second nervous breakdown, the one that gave me the fear that led to faith to act and to get on the right side of the right company. Every other one that my wife has told me, hey, we're expecting another child, I've only had happiness. Didn't have to fake it either. True, genuine happiness because we can afford it, okay? So tonight I want to go over this compensation plan. And I want to talk a little bit about the principles as well as the actual application of this plan, okay? Because I feel like this plan has just been from top to bottom. It has been designed in a way that you can get paid early and often, and whatever your goals are. If you want to be part-time, if you want to go full-time, or if you want to just blow the roof off of it and go big time, this compensation plan has it, okay? This has payout potential beyond anything I've ever seen. And here's the reason why. The highest payout percentage in the business, right? And that's that 64%. That's the side that I realized, hey, the lion's share is on the side with the distributors. Because here's something I'll tell you in this compensation plan training. The way I came to 4 Life was my next door neighbor was David Lisenby. Okay, David and Bianca Lisenby, the founder and co-founder of 4 Life. They were my neighbors. I didn't know anything about Transfer Factor. I didn't know anything about 4 Life. I didn't know anything about network marketing. I knew them, and that's enough. If you know David and Bianca Lisenby, that's enough. If they're the fruit and if they're the tree and 4 Life's the fruit, they produce good fruit. They're just good people in the neighborhood, good people in their communities, just good people in their personal and professional life. So David Lisenby, let's put it this way. When David Lisenby started 4 Life, he had the house that I would have had as my dream house. See, David Lisenby didn't start 4 Life because he was financially broke and needed to come up with an idea to get wealthy. He was already financially very, very established. He started 4 Life because of his passion for Transfer Factor, his passion for science. And so here's why 64%, because if Transfer Factor is sitting in a warehouse collecting a bunch of dust, who's that doing any good for? See, that doesn't accomplish David Lisenby's mission, and it doesn't accomplish our goals either. So he put the lion's share with the people who are sharing the product, okay? So there's a bunch of different ways to make money with this plan. Let's start off with a very, very simple one, the retail customer profit, okay? So if the wholesale cost for a bottle of Transfer Factor Plus is $50 US, okay? And you sell it for $75, which is a suggested retail, well, then you've got a profit of $25, okay? Instant discount. And there's discounts. We have some different packages that 4 Life offers where by buying in one of these packages, you're now getting the product for even cheaper, or they're bundling them together to where you have a discount built in there. And with that discount, you have even more profitable margin. Rapid rewards. This is one of the things that I love the most about this compensation plan, because it's just a proven fact that if somebody can come in and start to get rewards quickly by their actions, they're a lot more likely to stick around, right? They're a lot more likely to see the dividends pay off, to have that gratification. And as a result of that, they're going to be hitting the ground running. You know, in my 15 plus years as a distributor, I've had people had remarkable success with our product and still cancel their auto ship. Unfortunately, it seems to be human nature. Oh, Kevin, I love that product. This product helped me out so much. I've got to cancel my auto ship. Wait a second. I'm having a hard time getting from point A to point B. You love the product. You're giving me a testimony of the success you've had with it, but you're going to cancel it? Well, because that's just human nature. Sometimes people, they make irrational decisions when it comes to what they're cutting out based on whether it be a recession or whether they don't have enough money, what they consider luxury items, whatever. But guess what I've very rarely had happen in my time as a For Life distributor? Someone cancel when they're making money. Money is a great retainer. Not very many people cancel when they're making money. So I love the fact that with Rapid Rewards, you earn 25% commission on the first LP ordered of every new preferred customer you personally enroll. See, and that's fantastic because you're going out there, you're getting preferred customers, they're getting a break, right? Because they're getting a better price point, and you are getting 25% on their first order. And the great thing is there's duplication to this too. You also earn 12% of the first LP order of every new preferred customer on your second level. And then 5% on the first LP order on every preferred customer on your third level. Okay, so you get those rapid rewards that get you in the game and get you started off quickly. With My For Life, there's a great way to get commissions as well. That's because you have a personal website that's provided to you by For Life upon signing up. And guess how much you have to pay for that? You don't. See, that's what's remarkable about our company. A lot of companies out there, in order to have your own replicated website, they charge you a lot of money because they want to try to nickel and dime you with subscriptions and all these things. What I love about For Life is they give us the tools to succeed. Let's talk about the builder's bonus, because this is a fantastic aspect of this plan to get started with. What you really want to do is you want to think about it like this: me and my three. Okay, so this is a way that you can earn an extra $50, $200, or even $800 every month. And here's how it works. You go out and you're signing up people on your front line, okay? If your people on your front line, if they have 100 LP, now life points are attached to every single product we have, okay? Life points is just the volume or the commissionable points attached to a product. And I'll mention one quick thing about that. What I love about For Life is we don't have, I'll tell people that we pay out 64% maximum with our compensation plan. Do you know what the industry average is? Industry average right now, depends on what source you're looking at, but the industry average is right around between 38 and 40%. That's the maximum payout across the industry, the average. Think about that. We're paying out an additional 24 to 26% above what the industry is paying out. And I'll tell people, well, we pay out 64%. Do you know in 15 years, I've never talked to another representative of another company, another distributor. I've never talked to them and said, hey, what's your maximum payout? I've had people get up to 50. I've had some people even get up to 55, but a lot of times they're, oh, well, we pay 55% on volume, but guess what they do? They take their product and they say, it's $100 for this product, and we're only going to give you 50 when it comes to the volume, okay? That's what I love about For Life too, is if you've got $57.95 for Transfer Factor Plus, it's 50 LP. So it's just a small little buffer there. There's not some great big margin there. So 64% payout. What I love about this builder's bonus is if you come in and you get your team members to duplicate. See, this encourages duplication from the word go. So you go get your 3 people, they get 100 LP. You've got 5 people on your front line that are doing 100 LP. 3 of them duplicate your efforts and they say, okay, well now it's my turn. It's me and my 3. Well, they go and get their 3 people. Well, guess what? if they go and that next level also go and get their 3, so now they follow the leader, me and my 3, well, guess what? You're not only going to get $200 on each of the people that you have on your front line that are duplicating you, but you're also going to get $50 on that next generation. This is up to $800 every single month just with this builder's bonus. And guess what the best part of it is? You're creating a behavior and a culture with your team members that's about duplication and success. Okay, so you're helping them. It's like the old Jerry Maguire movie, help me help you, right? You're helping them, and in the process, you're helping yourself. You're rising with the tide. Team commissions. As an associate, you're going to get paid 2% on your first level, 25% on your second level. As a builder, you're going to add 5% on your third level to that. And as a diamond, it's going to be 2% first level, 25% second level, 5% third level. And then this is where it gets really exciting. 6% on your fourth generation, which is what we call an infinity bonus. Okay, which means it can go far deeper than four generations. That's the minimum. I've seen diamonds get paid 5, 6, 7, 8 generations, which is remarkable because diamond is a nice leadership position, but it's very attainable. Now, remember, we talked about rapid rewards. That's the first order, okay? The first order pays out different because that's going to go 25% to the person who enrolled, that customer on their first line, okay? Qualifications. Let's talk about qualifications here because I talked about how it is obtainable, okay? One of the things I love about For Life is there's a lot of companies out there, I call some of them pantry qualified and some of them are garage qualified. You have to start off with a great big purchase of product. In fact, I remember about 5 years ago, I had a buddy of mine and he asked me if I'd bring my truck and my trailer because he was moving. I got over there and I literally am there to help him move. And he's got these boxes of something that when I pull up, I just see him handing out these bottles. So I pull up and I'm like, what's going on, Landon? He's all, oh, I got involved in this company and I had to buy like $4,000 worth of this juice like a year ago. He's like, I think it's all about ready to expire. It's just been sitting in my garage. It's like anybody that's helping me move, I'm just handing out this juice, like trying to get rid of it. And I'm like, wow, what a kind of poor duplication model, right? Here's what For Life does. 100 monthly PV. And why? Think about it for a second. The reason why is because For Life believes in its own science. So you go out, you get a couple bottles of product, become a product of the product, use it, love it, share it. Get other people to buy 2 bottles of product too. Maybe it's 2 bottles, maybe it's 3 bottles of product, depending on what they're looking for. But become a product of the product, teach others to do the same. We're not about having a bunch of product that sits in the garage and that is collecting dust. This product, we've got an incredible lineup. When I first got started as a corporate employee, we had 1 product, what's now known as Transfer Factor Classic. When I became a distributor, our catalog grew. But wow, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, go look at the For Life catalog now. It's incredible. Whatever you want. Energy, we got you. Anti-aging, we got you. Antioxidants, we got you. The immune system company, yeah, we're immune support, right? We lead that. But anything you want, I mean, that's the thing is, I think everybody that comes up to me and says, well, I got this product, hey, me too. Because if you represent For Life, you've got herbs, you've got vitamins, you've got minerals, you've got collagen, you've got antioxidants, but guess what they don't have? They don't have what we have when it comes to our Transfer Factor line of products. So we've got everything that everybody else has and then some. So 100 monthly PV. Notice how it doesn't change from associate to platinum international diamond. want you to take a couple bottles of product, be a product of the product. Now, for your personally enrolled, as an associate, you've got one, and I like how it's progressive, okay? As a builder, that goes to 3, as a diamond, that goes up to 6, presidential diamond 8, international diamond 10, and then gold and platinum 12, okay? So you only have to have 12 people that are personally enrolled, preferred customers or distributors. They themselves also doing 100 PV, so duplicating, being a product of the product. To be a platinum international diamond, some of these guys and some of these women making 6 figures a month and plus, and they've only got 12 customers or distributors at 100 PV that order a month, okay? Now, your monthly LP on your first 3 levels without compression. For an associate and a builder, it doesn't come into play. It's 0. But once you get to diamond, it's 3,000, okay? That's why diamond now has that infinity bonus, because now you've reached some nice criteria. You've started to grow a team. Presidential diamond 10, international diamond 20, and then notice once again, international diamond, gold, and platinum stay at 20. So you're never gonna need more than 20,000 LP on your first 3 levels. I wanna offer some insight on this really quickly. Don't get caught up in the instant gratification of that 25% number. Because you know what people will do sometimes? They'll say, okay, Kevin, well, that's good that I get 25% on my frontline customer, but man, I'm looking at this 25% on second level. That looks pretty appealing. So what they do is they say, well, I'm going to put in somebody on my front line, or I've got a family member, or I've got a neighbor, or somebody that's close to me. And hey, it's, you know, I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm gonna put people under that person, because then that gives them a little bit motivated, right? And then they're on my second level. Well, guess what you've just done? You've taught, because people, this is a monkey see, monkey do business. Follow the leader. You've taught them to do the same thing, right? They've said, okay, well, that's what Kevin did. That's what Lisa did. That's what Wilfor did. So I'm going to follow the leader, and I'm going to find my person to put them under so that I can get 25%. Well, guess what that does? That means everybody that they now put underneath there is on your 4th level, right? Show me on the compensation plan where it says you need 4 levels to qualify. You need 3 levels to qualify. Protect your 3-level volume. If I see one mistake that's made in this compensation plan with my association with this brilliant life rewards plan, it's that people get caught up in chasing that 25%. And so they put others underneath a stat position, a dead position, even if it's a good leader. And next thing you know, they're calling me up and they're saying, Kevin, I've got good growth. I've got some good things happening, but it's outside of my 3 levels. Well, why is it outside of your 3 levels? Because you chased that 25% in the beginning and you cut off your nose and spite your face, okay? So put people on your first generation. Teach your people to do the same. If you go back, that's the brilliance of this. That's why the company's trying to teach you to build it the right way with the builder bonus, okay? Everything is about putting it on your first generation and teaching people to do the same. And if you do so, you'll have a strong 3-level volume. You'll be taken care of here. Okay, the next thing is legs. I love this because as an associate builder diamond, you can be one-legged. But to get the presidential diamond, you need at least 2 diamonds, okay? And I always used to say, hey, 2 will do, but 3 for free. You know, if you can make a very nice income with this company as a presidential diamond, as an international diamond, if you pull up the 4Life income disclosure, there's some people making some good monthly and yearly income at presidential and international diamond, because more percentages, 64%, means more opportunity for some good revenue. But here's the thing though, always think about you need 3 good, strong legs to go to the top of this company. I think of it like a stool, okay? when you're building that stool, you got 3 strong legs. And as you're building it, everything about that foundation is going to be 3 legs. Now, maybe you start off with just one good leader who's duplicating you. Don't fall in love with that. Don't fall in love with that. It can be easy to do, right? Because we're having success. You've got one leader and you're excited. You go to that leader's Zoom calls. They got a bunch of people on. You pull up the report and that leader's doing great things. Don't fall in love with success where success becomes your obstacle to more success. See, what you need to do is you want to look at your second leg, your third leg, identify. That's why Dave always talks about prepare, share, identify, solidify. That's a cycle that you should be doing all the time. So if you're looking at that as you're sharing and as you're building your business and you see, okay, who do I identify as are going to be my 3 legs? My 3, international diamonds to get to gold. And then my 3 gold international diamonds to get to platinum. But what I love about this is, guess what? Nobody goes to the top of this compensation plan by themselves. You together building people is throughout this entire plan. You think about it. A platinum international diamond needs to have 3 golds, right? Those 3 golds need to have 3 international diamonds. Those 3 international diamonds need to have 2 presidential diamonds. Those 2 presidential diamonds need to have 2 diamonds. Diamond is the bread and butter of this compensation plan. Go out and build diamonds and then teach them to do the same, and you're going to rise together with this compensation plan. The last criteria or qualification is for gold. You need to have at least 250,000 in organizational volume, and your international diamonds now need to have at least 50,000 in organizational volume for each of those international diamonds. And if you go to platinum, 1 million LP. And then each of your international diamonds, of course, need to have 250,000. But you can get to platinum with 1 million LP if you help others succeed. And if you pull up the 4Life income disclosure, what I love is you earn while you learn. And you're going to get paid as you build. And then there's the next level, right? You take it to the next level and you set another goal. Infinity payout with this compensation plan is incredible. Okay, it's incredible. I want to talk to you really quickly about a rule with this, okay? Sometimes people will look at this plan and they'll see this infinity payout and it's kind of like, okay, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this, okay? I want to tell you one kind of golden rule for infinity payout, okay? If you've earned it, you'll receive it, okay? And if someone else has earned it, then they'll receive it. So think of it like this. You're never going to have somebody completely take away your infinity payout unless they're what we would call a like position, okay? So if you're an international diamond and you had 50 presidential diamonds and 1 leg underneath you, guess what? It truly is infinity. You're going to get paid forever because as an international diamond, you could have 50 presidential diamonds and 1 leg, and you're going to get paid on every one of them. They're going to be swapping out bonuses with each other because they're like positions as they go through, 1 or 2 like positions, but you're going to get paid forever. So think of it like this. If we go to a diamond, okay? If I'm going to go pick Will for a second, okay? If he's on my front line and we're building the business together, I'm going to get paid 2% on him, okay, because he's my front line. On his people, his first generation, this is after rapid rewards, I'm going to get paid 25%, okay? On his people's people, which are now my 3rd generation, I'm going to get paid 5%, okay? Now, let's say that Wilfer is a diamond and I'm a diamond, okay? On the next generation, that when it comes to Wilfer's 4th generation, okay? So Wilfer, your first generation, you're going to get paid 2%. second generation, 25%, third generation, 5%, okay? Fourth generation, you're gonna get paid 6%. If I'm a diamond as well, what do you think would happen to me? Think of it like this. If it pays 64% maximum, well, then something has to give, right? Because it comes into a situation where I'm a diamond, Wilfor is a diamond. So when his infinity starts, my infinity would end, okay? Because he's on my front line. Here's the thing though. This is what's exciting. That gives me a lot of motivation to do what? I've got one diamond in Wilfor. He's got some good business growing. He's duplicating leadership. I got to go find a second diamond, right? By finding a second diamond, I'm going to go to presidential diamond. I'm going to get my 3 levels at 10,000. And as a presidential diamond, guess what happens? Now, when I get down to Wilfor, because I'm a presidential diamond and he's a diamond, when I come to that level at 6%, I am going to split my 12%. See, this is what happens is, as a presidential diamond, I have 12% there. So does Wilfor qualify for 12%? No, right? Because he qualifies as a diamond in this scenario. So he's earned 6%. So 6% is what he's promised based on his criteria and this compensation plan. Now, I'm not going to get blocked or interrupted by Wilfor, and I like to call it interrupted because there really is no such thing as blockage in this plan. There's just go to the next level and expand your horizons again. So interruption is very temporary, and that's how it is with this plan too. So if I'm a presidential diamond and I get to Wilfor, I'm going to get paid 12%. So in that case, this is the only time that this happens in this plan. It wouldn't be fair to give me the whole 12% because now I've come across somebody who's earned 6%, okay? I'm not gonna go down to 3% because he's not a presidential diamond too. So guess what it does with that 12%? It splits it. Wilfor's gonna get 6% and I'm gonna get 6%. So if you're a presidential diamond and you're wondering, hey, I'm looking at my chart here and it says 225, 5, 12, 3, 3, but I pulled up my bonus recap and my bonus recap has a 6%. How does that work, Kevin? That's how it works. You can split that 12%, 6% to the diamond, 6% for you, and that's how that would work, okay? Now, what's my goal? My goal is to get Wilfor to where he qualifies as a presidential diamond. I want him to duplicate, together building people. So now when he qualifies as a presidential diamond, that 12% that we're going 6%, 6%, now Wilfor is going to get that 12% and I'm going to go and I'm going to move down to 3%. So my first 3% would happen, okay? Now I wouldn't get to my second 3% as a presidential diamond until what? Until Wilfor has another presidential diamond. When he has another presidential diamond, that's the only way I'm going to my second generation of infinity. Guys, if there's anything I can get to where you understand about this plan, and most of you understand it very well, I want you to understand this. 3% on a lot of volume. I mean, I'm very blessed with For Life. And I pull up my bonus recap and guess about 90% of my monthly income, guess what it is? 3%, 2%. See, if you have exponentially more volume, you'll take smaller percentages. You know, you'll take smaller percentages because that's compound opportunity. I want Wilfor to grow. I want his people to grow because it's like this great, big, like a pie as big as Earth. I'll take a sliver of that pie and it's still going to fill me and then some. It's going to overflow, right? So don't look at that 3% and 2% and think, oh, well, Dave Daughtry makes what, you know, some attorneys and doctors make in a year, in a month. And guess what? a lot of his income is 3% and 2%. Because guess what? When you bring in a Juan Rosado, a Herminio Navarez, you bring in and they bring in, I mean, half of the Spanish speaking world, right? It seems. Guess what? That can be a great big amount of volume that you're getting good percentages on. Okay, so just remember like this. I know international diamonds that very minimum you'll see here for an international diamond is 8 generations. I'm going to tell you how that would work, okay? Because you're like, infinity bonus, how can we get to 8 generations? That would literally be international diamond and an international diamond, presidential, that's right on top of each other. Which, guess what? That's a good problem to have. That's a great problem to have, because guess what you've got? You've got strong 3-level, you've got condensed volume. This compensation plan has what we call dynamic compression and roll-up, okay? So if you have international diamond, presidential diamond, all on your first 4 levels, somebody would call up and say, hey, Kevin, well, that means I'm only going to get paid 8 generations. What would you say to that? Congratulations. That's what I would say to that. Congratulations, because you're starting to have a very nice check in that scenario. But that's the minimum, okay, based on having all that leadership up close. There's a lot of situations where international diamonds, I've seen international diamonds get paid 15, 20, 25 levels deep, 25 generations in their organization, okay? And so this compensation plan can pay very deep. Incentive trips, you know, I call them paycations because I'm going on vacation, but 4Life's paying, right? And I'll tell you what, when I worked at the corporate office, guess how many times I had the executives at 4Life call me up and say, hey, Kevin, we want to send you and your wife on an all expense paid trip to paradise. It happened on the 5th of never. I put it on my calendar. It never happened. And guess what? It was going to happen on the 10th of never. They're never going to call me up as a corporate employee and say, hey, let's just send your wife on an all expense paid trip. It wasn't happening. But guess how many times I've been on great escape trips and gold getaways as a distributor? Like 8 or 9 trips, all expense paid trips to Mexico, Cancun, trips to Punta Cana, to Dominican Republic. My gold getaway trip, they took me to Rio de Janeiro and Iguazu Falls. I saw one of the most beautiful sights known to, mankind. I mean, Iguazu Falls was amazing. The tour guide says, hey, Eleanor Roosevelt, the first lady for the United States, she came here and she only said 2 words when she saw Iguazu. And I'm like, well, what were the words? And he said, poor Niagara. That's what she said when she saw Iguazu. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. And 4Life, I was there because of them. So you know what? If you're not having fun in this business, you're doing it wrong. This business is about lifestyle. This business is about enjoying each other's company. This business is about together building people. And it's also about great incentive trips, okay? So you can get trips every step of the way. It's not just for platinums and golds. It's presidential diamond is where these trips start. And then international diamond. Every step of the way, you can be rewarded with an incentive trip, okay? So I'll just finish up by talking very quickly about one more section here. And that's what you see there called the Premier Pool and the Platinum Pool bonus, okay? That's for international diamonds, gold international diamonds, and platinum international diamonds. Guys, it's not even profit share. It's revenue share. Revenue share. Think about this. If you come into 4Life and you start building your business, it doesn't matter if you came in January 2020. January 2020, this company was 20 plus years old. But you can come in and you can have a revenue share of something that's been built for 2 decades. In how many countries around the world? That's what, $500 million company now? And you can get a revenue share. Well, guess when that was going to happen? in corporate America, at the corporate office. It was never, ever going to happen. Profit share is only for chief officers in those type of corporations, right? But revenue share, you can come in and right off the bat be building your way to International Diamond, and then you're going to get 2% of the company's global LP. What's been built by distributors for 20 years in 75 plus different countries. Okay, that's a remarkable aspect of this. And every time I get a premier pool, I'm just like, wow. The premier pool is a nice check in its own right, by itself, independent of the rest of the commission and bonus. The premier pool is a nice check. And then you get the platinum, and I can barely wrap my head around it. Because here's the thing is, how many platinums we have? 10, 12, 15 that are qualifying, right? Well, if that's the case, 1%, okay, let's just say that the company last month, let's just say they did $40 million, okay? Well, even with my Heber City, Utah math, I can pull up a calculator, okay? And I can say, what is 40 million times 1%? 400,000 US dollars. 400,000 US dollars, that's just sitting in a 1% pool there. And now we got, you know, let's say there's 10 platinums that qualify that month, $40,000, $40,000 just in the platinum pool. Sign me up for that, right? I got to keep on working towards that, because Gold International Diamond seems like I'm very, very happy, but hey, I'm not going to rest on that. I'm going to keep going towards platinum, right? So it's life-changing money. And what I like about it is from the very word go, you can start in with things like the builder's bonus, with things like the rapid rewards. Start, you know, getting paid early and build from there. And I'll finish with this. This plan has something for everybody, but the key is customize it to your prospect, okay? Because when I first became a distributor, that second year, and I was starting to have a little success, I scared away a lot of prospects because I was like, hey, this is great. You just got to work 14 to 16-hour days, 8 to faint. You just got to basically live either in your home office or by your phone, and you've got to chase this business until you faint. And if you do that, well, guess what? There is no ceiling to what you can earn. And I have people like, I was just trying to make a couple $100 a month. Like, that seems like a lot, Kevin. And I was intimidating them based on what my goals were. You know, people's goals can evolve and they can grow. They change, because when they reach one goal, it's like going up to a summit of a tall mountain, right? You get to one plateau and you're sitting there on the ledge and you're like, hey, I just thought we'd get to that ledge, but now that I'm sitting here at this ledge, that view's pretty beautiful. I wonder what it looks like at the next ledge. And you go to the next ledge, but you don't go by yourself. To go to the top of the mountain, you have to go with a partner. You have to go with a party. It's a whole party that goes, right? But it takes all types. And that's what I love about this plan. Customers, diamonds, presidential diamonds. If you want to be part-time, full-time, or if you want to be a partner chasing financial freedom, it's in this plan. And it's in this plan, thankfully, because David Lisenby, most of these companies, they start off like this. 3 or 4 people get together and they say, hey, we need to make some money. What do we need to make some money with this business model? We need a product. And they say, hey, let's try this product right here. What's the story behind it? And then they build a compensation plan where they say, well, we need to make money. So we're going to build a compensation plan based on what our goal is. The product was an afterthought. See, For Life started very differently. Like I told you, I would still, the house that David Lisenby started this company with, I would still take that house as my dream home. He was doing just fine. He started it because he came across Sherwood Lawrence and Transfer Factor, and he said, hey, we have to compensate and reward those people that are out sharing the transfer factor story. That's why we have the 64%, because the mission was different than most of these companies. And it only took me 6 years to figure it out. So I was a slow learner. Hopefully it hasn't taken you guys that long, but it took me 6 years to realize, wow, there's tremendous upside and opportunity. I just got to get on the lion's share. So it's a great plan. I would suggest 2 things. Go to YouTube when we're done with this. Pull up Life Rewards Plan on YouTube. There's a couple great videos. One's a webinar that was done by Ross Terry, a great training on this where he's going to go scenario by scenario. And another is one that was produced by the company that's more of a promotional video. This is a fantastic compensation plan. And I live here in Utah. My final thing is I'll say is this. If you don't understand the difference between our plan and others' plans, I live here in the Mecca of MLM. There's a network marketing company, literally, I can drive to For Life in 15 minutes and I pass five headquarters of other companies. That's what Utah is, just a network marketing hub. And a couple days ago, I pulled up to a gas station and I looked over and there was these vanity plates, and these vanity plates literally had a name of another company. And I have vanity plates too that say Rio Vita, and then another one that says For Life, right? For Life for You, which is what Dave Daughtry had in California. Okay, so I just got the Utah version, For Life, the number 4U. And I sat there and I looked over and he looked over. He saw my plates. I saw his plates. We're a bit rivals. Our product is superior, of course, but he's in the same business model. And I looked over and I said, I know that company. And he looked over, he goes, I know that company. And I go, well, what do you do for them? He goes, I'm the chief information officer. See, he was driving a really nice car, the chief information officer. And he goes, well, what did you do for your corporate office? Oh, I don't work at the corporate office. I'm a distributor. See, the difference is, and I always tease because one of my best friends in this entire world is a vice president of field development at For Life. I've known him for 20 plus years. And I know he gets mad at me, but I always just say to him, man, I love you, but being a distributor is where it's at with this company. We have unlimited upside with what we can do. There's no ceiling with what we can do at For Life, okay? So thank you so much. I appreciate spending some time with you tonight. Our fearless leader, Dave Daughtry, will be back next week. So I'll turn the time back over to you, Claudia.
I loved it. And I see that Wilfer, who's actually, I think it's his first time on our English meeting. He's like, he can't stop clapping and cheering. And so, Kevin, I told you, Wilfer, that you would not be disappointed with Kevin explaining this. Well, I don't even think, sometimes Kevin is the hidden gem. People don't know his story and how good he is. And I am just so blessed that I was mentored by this great man, and that I really can call him my friend. And it's just beautiful and wonderful to have this amazing company that it's about relationships. We get to meet the greatest people in the world. And so with that, Barry's nodding, so it's good, Barry, it's good. Let me see if we have any questions. Anybody raise their hand? Let me see. Kevin shared the link, so if you guys want to do that. I apologize that I didn't notice that Kevin had the screen a little bit small, and I should have, as a co-host, told him to open it up a little, but I hope everybody figured out how to open it on their own. So I apologize, Marcus, because he did tell me a little bit earlier. And Angie, you had a new person, but I don't see her, if she's still here. Congratulations, Adrienne Alexander, for coming into our meeting for the first time. Anybody else that wants to say anything? Last chance, because we're over time already. And so if you do, you can raise your hand or you can write me on the chat. I think I blocked your mute, your microphone, so that we could stop hearing the noise that was coming, but I don't see any raised hands. So with that, we're gonna stop the recording and stop the live. Thank you. Oh, wait 1 second. Wilfer, our new, he's not a new leader, but he's our new English guest in this meeting. So Wilfer, let me see if I can, and somebody help me unmute him while I take off Okay, you can unmute yourself, Wilfer. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So I have loved this presentation. So this is my first one time having this training. So I would ask, because I turned it's like, so I became member, so just a couple days ago, but I used to hear it by a member of the church for a long time, but I didn't believe him. So right now, I just believe that this can transform my life. So what, Kevin, what would you advise me to do during this new journey?
That's a great question. You know, the best advice I ever got when I first got started, Wilfer, is I started to go out, and I believe so much in the product that I had this list. You know, we create our list, and I started with an acronym, Frankie. You know, friends, relatives, associates, neighbors, kids, internet, and email. So I went through as a memory jogger, and I wrote down, I love it. So I wrote down everybody I knew that I thought could benefit from either this product or opportunity. But guess what I ended up doing? I was so passionate about this product and what I felt like was this dream vehicle that I got caught up on 10 people. Okay. Now, 4 of them joined me. 6 of them wanted nothing to do with it. But I was trying to convince those 6 people, like, okay, well, let me bring you another clinical study, or let me show you this part of the compensation plan, or let me get you on the phone with Dave Daughtry, my sponsor. Because if you can't, you know, believe it from me, maybe you can hear it from him, and he'll say something that will convince you. And I just kept on going back to these people, circling back with more information. And you know what? That's not the way to do it. I had Ray Muir, who was the very first ever Platinum International Diamond with 4Life. Great man, called me up, was checking on me. Kev, how you doing as a distributor? I said, I'm struggling. I can't convince some of these people. He goes, why are you trying to convince people? He goes, Kevin, there's 6 billion people on the planet. This is a people filtering business, and you're trying to convince 6 people to join the business. He's like, listen, some will, some won't, so what? Someone's waiting. It's time for you to get onto the someone's waiting. He's like, start working the rest of that list, and then people know people know people. Work up the food chain. He's like, quit wasting your positive energy on negative people. He's like, you know what? Present the plan. Tell everybody you know about 4Life and about Transfer Factor. And guess what? Educate, inform, resolve concerns, but don't sit there and try to convince people. So the best advice I can give you is this. Start with your acronym, your Frankie, your memory jogger, your list, and then work your way through their circles of influence. And then at the end of the day, we're looking for those who are looking for us. And do you think more people are looking for the immune system company than ever before? COVID-19, people are looking for 4Life more than ever before. Not because we have some cure, but we are the immune system company, right? So they're looking for our products. Do you think also people are looking for 4Life? Look what unemployment is doing right now, just in the countries represented here, right? New Zealand, Canada, America. The side hustle is the new job security of the future. So even people that haven't been impacted with unemployment are looking for additional income. So, you know, look for those looking for us. Don't beat yourself up getting caught up in the thick of thin things with people that aren't going to catch the vision. Because I will tell you one more thing, Wilfer. I convinced one of those 6 people, convinced that person to join me. Guess what? The most negative prospect I ever had. Spent so much time on that person, convinced that person. Guess what I got? The most negative distributor I've ever had. They don't just change their attitude like that because of the fact that they joined. I think that he literally joined so I would leave him alone. That's not a great partner. I'm looking for those people that are hungry, ambitious, and have the same type of dream that I have. So that's the best advice I can give you. The compensation plan takes care of the rest. But when you get those people in, build with those people who deserve it, because everybody needs it. So when you find somebody that wants to run with you, run with that person, build with that person, okay?
So thank you so much. So I think that I just got some words to write it down, but I think that through the night I'm gonna dream with this. Thank you so much.
Okay, Kev, I think we have one more, and since we're like 15 minutes over time, I think we'll just take that one last one from Marcos. Do you think the attraction law works in MLM from your experience? And we'll finish with that so we can close it.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I literally think it's the key in this day and age. There's far too many people right now that have become spammy Sammy and spammy Tammy. All they do is they just spam out information about this is my company, this is my product. And guess what? We get lost in the white noise if you approach it like that. What you want to do is you want to create curiosity, you want to add value, and I believe in the law of attraction. Manifest your goals and your dreams. Go out there and look for those who are looking for us. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because one of the things that Dave told me in the very beginning is we are who we surround ourselves with. And Jim Rohn said, hey, take the 5 people you spend the most time with, the average of those 5 people, that's who you are, looking back in the mirror. So I believe in attraction marketing, and I believe in just the law of attraction when it comes to declare yourself. Write down a goal, because every single day you're going to get people that are going to try to get you off your course and steal your dreams. Like I have right here in front of me in my computer, because there's days that this mouse, as I'm working it, feels like I've got a brick. I'm getting carpal tunnel, because there's days that are harder to go to work and build your business, but you got to show up to grow up, right? And so I look up here, I've got it right here manifested right here on my wall, what I do it for, who I do it for. Keep yourself very intimately connected to your purpose, to your why, because that's where good things happen. So yes, I absolutely believe in the law of attraction, and I believe in attraction marketing. And the greatest thing is, if you lead with the benefits of this company, well, then that's going to get people to come to you. Okay. You want them to ask you, what are you doing? Product or opportunity? Think about them asking the question rather than you just promoting the product. Because if you can get them to ask the question, good things happen. So we're over time, but I appreciate you spending some of your Thursday night or your Friday morning and some of your cases with us, and just make it a great weekend. Okay. Thanks everybody.
Thank you so much,
Dave.
Kevin.
Thank you, Kev. I just put a code and it'll be on Dave's website tonight or tomorrow. Kawinder and I will host our Saturday social media training, which we're doing every Saturday, one in English, one in Spanish. So this time is going to be Kawinder. She's continuing to teach us more about groups and pages. So yeah, check Dave's website Friday night or Saturday morning and click on the link. For Angie would be Saturday afternoon probably, and for Barry. So thank you everybody. Check the website. Bye-bye. Thank you, Wilfer. You got my number if you need me. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.